When it comes down to 2023 TV lineups, Hisense is offering something that no other company is offering. And when it comes down to offering value or the best bang for your buck, Hisense is definitely in the top category in regards to that. So I'm going to take you across the whole entire ULED lineup and discuss which TV is going to be right for you amongst this lineup. We have the U6K, the U7K, the U8K, and the UX. So we're going to talk about all of those. I'm going to start with the cheapest and work my way up. I'm also going to make a similar video for TCL as well, so I suggest you check that out because the TCL and Hisense lineups are very comparable, and it is one that I think you're going to want to watch both of these videos for. Alright, so I want to start by talking about the Hisense U6K. We're going to start with the bottom TV and work our way all the way up from least expensive to most expensive. So starting with the U6K, in the past, the U6 series has been like the more entry-level TV, and this is still the case, but what you're getting this year is mini LED, which you're not going to find. You're just not going to find it in this price bracket. So hats off to Hisense for offering mini LED technology at this entry level point. Also, hats off to them for offering 4 HDMI ports at this price point as well, because if you look at TVs in the same price bracket, chances are they have 3 HDMI ports, or in some cases even just 2 HDMI ports. So in terms of value and in terms of like the features you're getting for the price, there's absolutely no beating the U6K in that category. You're getting mini LED technology and 4 HDMI ports at this price bracket, which is unheard of. Like, I can't stress that enough. This is a price bracket where you see 3 HDMI ports and only direct lit technology. That's what you're going to find in most cases with different TV manufacturers. But don't get me wrong, this is still very much a entry-level TV. It's only 60 Hz like most entry-level TVs, but it is more advanced than most entry-level TVs. So you do have to give Hisense a lot of props for that. Now, if you want to step it up to something a little bit more advanced, we're going to be looking at the Hisense U7K. Now we're stepping up to 120 Hz refresh rate, and this is really great because it also is going to offer 144 Hz gaming. So having support for that within this price bracket is really nice as well. Trying to find TVs that compare to the U7 for the same price is hard to do, and in a lot of cases you won't find 120 Hz within this price bracket. So yeah, once again, Hisense is offering really great value in terms of price. The price to performance ratio for Hisense TVs is really good, to be honest with you, and like I mentioned, finding a TV that is capable of doing what this TV is doing for the same price is hard to do. It is very hard to do. So 1,000 nits out of this TV as well, that's something you're not going to find at this price bracket. Now, we do have to stress that the processing that you find in these Hisense TVs, they're not going to be as good as something, say, like a Sony TV, but they're also going to be in a different price bracket, and they're going to offer you more TV technology for the price. So that's something you have to weigh, like how much does processing matter for you at the end of the day. I think it is a very important part of TVs, but when you're getting TV technology differences like, say, mini LED versus a direct lit TV for the same price, to me, regardless of the actual processing in the TV, you're probably going to love the mini LED TV better than the direct lit TV, because in regards to picture quality, that TV technology difference, direct lit versus mini LED TVs, it's a huge night and day thing in terms of contrast. In regards to the U7K, I think this might be one of the best TVs available for the price, and I think a lot of people that are getting into TVs for the very first time, and this is the price bracket you're in, the U7K just makes so much sense. Now, before we step up to the U8K, I do want to just mention that this is not a sponsored video, and everything that I'm saying about these Hisense TVs are of my personal opinion. That said, if you do want to support the channel, I have affiliate links for these TVs in the description below, so when you're buying your next TV, please consider using one of my affiliate links to help out the channel so that we could get more awesome TVs in for review and comparison in the near future. Thank you guys so much for your support. Now let's continue on with the rest of the video. Now, going up from there, you do have the U8. The U8K is going to be a good sweet spot for a lot of people, I think. When you think about premium mini LED TVs, you think about the brightness capability of these TVs, and the Hisense U8K does offer a lot of brightness for the price. You're not going to find many TVs that are going to match this amount of brightness for the price. So yeah, you're going to get really good highlights out of the U8K, whereas other TV manufacturers for the same price, you might not be able to get to that same degree unless we're talking about TCL maybe, and TCL and Hisense, they're very similar in this price bracket. So I think like weighing those two against each other is the smart thing to do. Again, you may not be getting the best processing that you can get for the price, but when it comes down to the actual TV technology offering and the brightness capability, you are getting that with the U8K. So I've gotten the question of, should I get a U8K? I'm in a bright room. And absolutely, if you are in a bright room, the U8K is going to be a good TV solution for you. I like this TV a lot. I think that overall, it's one of Hisense's best TV offerings. And when you look, you see that they have a 100-inch TV for the price that it is right now. To me, that's absolutely unheard of. And if you have the space for a 100-inch TV, you can make the argument that this is going to be the TV that you want to get. As somebody who's been looking at bigger size displays and ultra short throws lately, it's hard to put a value on immersion. I think that looking at bigger displays, say like this 100-inch U8K next to say a 75-inch TV from a different manufacturer that's a little bit more of a premium brand, I personally couldn't even justify spending money on the 75-inch TV when I have access to a 100-inch TV if I have the space for it. So yeah, I think that Hisense offering this TV for the price is so smart. And if you guys are wanting to get into big TVs for the very first time, the U8K at 100 inches is a really cool solution. The more I think about it, the more I realize that Hisense might be the king of value in this regard, because you're not going to find many TVs of this quality for this price. And that goes from the U6 to the U7 to the U8. It's hard to find TVs that are going to be offering as much TV technology for the price. After the U8, we go up to the UX or the U10, whatever you want to call it. I call it the UX, but this is going to be Hisense's best offering. It's only available right now in the 85-inch screen size, and you can buy it on Best Buy. But it is going to be something where you got to think, is this going to be worth it over, say, a U8 100-inch? I would say no. If you have the space for a 100-inch TV, you go with that instead. But what if you don't have space for the 100-inch TV? 85-inch is kind of your cap. Is the UX really good for the money? And that's something that I really don't know how to quantify for you guys. I did see this TV at CES, and it's a very impressive TV. But again, I think they maybe priced themselves amongst the top brands, and it's hard to say if it's going to be worth it over that brand's offerings. So without seeing it next to something like the X95L, I couldn't really tell you if it was going to be worth the price tag. So that's the hardest thing to kind of think about with the UX is it going to be worth it for the price? Certainly on paper, it is something that is a marvel to behold. I mean, like 20,000 mini LEDs with 5,000 local dimming zones. No other TV manufacturer really offers that. So yes, it is a very expensive price tag, but you have to just consider how ambitious this TV is. It's impressive, but I just don't know if it's the best value at the price. And it feels like the UX is the only TV in Hisense's lineup where I have that question. Where the U8, the U7, the U6, I can make a case for that being the best value amongst TVs for the price. I can't really do the same for the UX, especially when you have the 100-inch U8 sitting there. So the question remains, which one should you go with? And which one should most people be thinking about? I think for a lot of people, the U7 will be a great entry point into the Hisense lineup. And if you have a little bit more to spend on the budget, the U8 does make sense there instead of the U7. So I say if you have the budget for U8, go with the U8. But if you're just getting into TVs and you think that the U7 makes a lot of sense, I think the U7 makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. It really is a sweet spot. It is really one of the best bang for your bucks out there. So I would look at the U7K for most people. And again, if you have a little bit more to spare, the U8K will absolutely be worth it over the U7K, in my opinion. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Tell me in the comments below, which Hisense TV would you get? And would you even get a Hisense TV? Or are you looking at a different brand? I would love to know the answer to that question. But if you want to see more TV buying guides from different brands, be sure to check out one of the videos above. And if you want to see more videos on TVs, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.